Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to JMS Media Solutions Broadcasting. Thank you very much for joining me. Sorry for the delay in getting started here. I had some stuff to get caught up on and lost track of time. Anyways, these guys are out on the track for qualifying right now, so we will bring you all of the qualifying action as the laps are turned. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and that's not good. We'll fix that problem. That's done. Good job. See, this is what happens when you get an unprepared broadcaster. Anyways, thank you for joining me tonight, guys. Hope everyone is ready for all of the Racing for a Cause action. We have the American Heart Association 100 presented by Clam Chowder Racing. You don't know what Clam Chowder Racing is? That is Mr. Andrew Hill in the 77 machine. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him tonight. Alright, so current points qualifying leader, AJ Hamill with a 20.305. But speaking of the points, we can go over those real quick. Al Smith is your points leader. 8-point lead over Ryan Nolan. AJ Hamill sitting in third. Andy Lambert fourth. Andrew Hill fifth. So, you know, those are your top five. And the season's starting to wind down. But I'll tell you what, those top three, it could go either way for all three drivers right now. So on track, we have Sean Cool and Brian Hacker. Sean Cool just scored a lap for third quickest. If you're wondering why I'm so behind, I am playing single parent and I'm not used to that, so I apologize. I had some stuff to deal with the children, so we're a little scrambled right now. Hopefully we'll get through this and we'll have a good time doing it. 100 laps here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Glad y'all are joining us tonight. Al Smith rolling out on the track now. Brian Hacker in the 11 machine. We got 4 cars who haven't turned a lap yet. And 2 of them are currently rolling around the track now. 3 of them. Douglas Wysocki here. Douglas getting ready to score his first lap. Well, since we are a little bit behind, let's go ahead and knock this out. Brad Carpenter in the 43. He's out on track now, so that just leaves Zach Coyer as the only driver so far to not take a lap in qualifying. He could be waiting as we have about a minute left of qualifying, so Zach Coyer could be playing coy with us. Brad Carpenter going to move up the charts here in the 9th. But AJ Hamill still your quick time with a 20.305. Ryan Nolan sitting in second with a 20.334. Sean Cool with a 20.407. Those are your top 3. Brad Carpenter is shutting it down now. Leaves just 1 car out on the track. And for whatever reason, his trading paint is not loading up for me. And it is saying all files are up to date. Don't know about that. So maybe some issues. I don't know. It's a crazy, crazy world we live in. Completely crazy. So time winding down. Final 5 seconds. AJ Hamill, your pole sitter. Ryan Nolan, Sean Cool, Brian Rogers, Justin McDuff, Andrew Hill, Brian Hacker, Al Smith, Brad Carpenter, Wayne McDuff, Andy Buzzy Lambert, and Douglas Wysocki. Those are your 12 drivers as they took to their qualifying time. So 100 laps here at Stafford Motor Speedway, getting ready to fire off here. We're going to do about 2 pace laps, then the pace car is going to disappear, and away we rock and roll, man. Get a good shot there of Ryan Nolan and AJ Hamill, your front row. There's row 2. Great shot of the cars as they roll away from the starting grid. So Ryan Nolan going to be front row outside. AJ Hamill, last week's winner, dropping to the back here. Good little rule that they have. If you win, you drop to the rear for the following race. So AJ Hamill dropping to the rear. That's going to put the 24 machine of Sean Cool on pole position. Ryan Nolan on his outside. Justin McDuff in third now. So everyone in that inside lane went ahead and moved up one spot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, pull those belts tight one more time, because here we go. Make sure you are prepared for what you are about to see. And the green flag is about to fly. Here we go. 100 laps at Stafford. Sean Cool to the inside. Ryan Nolan on that outside. Not losing a whole lot of ground, but not able to maintain a great run down the backstretch here. Sean Cool now with a good steady lead here. Opening up a little bit of a gap. Ryan Nolan struggling on this outside lane. Ryan Nolan has got to get tucked down. Looks like he's going to get into position here. Now he's looking to the inside of McDuff. Wayne McDuff now the one on the outside. That is Justin McDuff. And the 12 machine of Brian Rogers now working his way underneath. Justin shutting the door on him. Does not want to lose any more spots to that outside line. Checking in on Andrew Hill, our race promoter tonight. Andrew Hill in that 77 machine. Looks like he's already got a little bit of right front damage. Pretty significant side on that side. Hopefully it doesn't knock the toe out, or he hasn't knocked the toe out. That'll really slow you down. This track not necessarily aero dependent, but if you knock a wheel in, it definitely is going to slow you up some. I saw a big wiggle from our points leader coming out of turn 2. Al Smith, your points leader, heading into tonight's race. Ryan Nolan second in points with just an 8-point difference between these two. And Al's got his work cut out for him, currently 9th. Ryan Nolan, Justin McDuff. These two really can't get much between these two cars right now. Good battle for second place here. While this battle is going on, Sean Cool has a decent lead now. Almost a 1 second lead. Nice steady laps. Doesn't look like he's getting the car out of shape. Not hustling it. Doing a good job of just logging some laps now. Checking in on Zach Coyer, one of the guys who did not qualify. Zach has managed to make it from 13th to 11th. And AJ Hamill, who started shotgun on this field, is currently 10th. Just now getting into that top 10 Thought he was getting ready to make a move underneath Al Smith. Maybe this time, as Al looks to be giving him the line here. Al not going to give too much of a fight there. So A.J. Hamill, last week's winner, shotgun on the field. Now he's in 9th. Got many more laps to go, but they are clicking lap times. Sean Cool's best lap time of a 20.577. So far, he has turned the fastest lap time out here, and a 20.5-second lap time. This is going to go fast. Oh my goodness. No, it should not. I misclicked that. Thank you, Laura. I apologize. Wow. If you could see me now, you would see I'm very red-faced and embarrassed about that. So Sean Cool still out front, getting a further lead. In the 70 machine, it appears we have a bit of a driver change. It's Andreas Lambert in the car today. Andreas Lambert in the 70 machine. Currently running 8th with A.J. Hamill charging through the field. AJ really wants to get back into this top 5. He's got a few more cars to go around before he can get there. But everyone's really close to each other, running nose to tail. This field is not spreading out a whole lot yet. But again, we're still early. We haven't even done 20 laps here, so we're going to start seeing some drivers and their setup change as tire wear takes effect, fuel load changes. As we're talking about that, Ryan Nolan slowly starting to creep in on Sean Cool. So Sean Cool now losing some time to Ryan Nolan. Currently in 4th place is Brian Hacker in the 11 machine. Brian closing in on this front group. Might have something to say about who's going to run second. Ooh, as he really got close to that wall. Pushing coming out of turn 4. Had a lot of wheel into it. Front end finally bit. Able to keep it from squirting through the grass though. Brad Carpenter in the 43. Got him a little spot here to run some laps, but he's got some spoiler damage. So the thing about Stafford is this outside wall will really suck you in. You've got to be very patient when you're getting onto the throttle. As we watch A.J. Hamill pick up another spot here, he has pushed Andreas to the high side. Al Smith looks like he's thinking about following AJ for this position. Andreas might lose 2 spots here. Al still to the inside. That 70 machine's got a little bit of front end damage. Looked like he washed up quite a bit there through turn 1. But now he's got to charge back on this outside. Got to find a little bit of grip. Al's going to clear him by mid-corner. Now the 70 machine lost 2 spots there, but put A.J. Hamill up to 8th now. Setting his sights on Brad Carpenter. We go on board with A.J. Hamill here. You can see this field isn't spread out too much. Even if we were to go flag to flag, AJ still has the lead car in his sights. plenty of time to make something happen. Double apex this corner here. As you see, he entered real low, let the car come up a little bit, and then late apex on it. So AJ Hamill taking us for a lap there. Thank you, Mr. AJ. Appreciate it. So Andrew Hill's still sitting in the top 5. Brian Rogers is 6th, right behind him, and in front of him is the 11 of Brian Hacker. These three, Brian Hacker doing what he can, sitting in 4th, best lap time of a 20.729. Andrew Hill with a 20.717. Brad Carpenter, as we check in on the battle between him and Brian Rogers, wouldn't say it's much of a battle, but as we watch this field go through transitions, these guys start closing gaps on cars behind them, or they'll start losing ground. So, got to stay on top of these things. As AJ Hamill is really caught up to Brad Carpenter now. But Sean Cool is managing his distance between Ryan Nolan, sitting at just under a second, lap after lap. He is holding steady here. So the front 3 cars really haven't changed since the start of this race. Things are looking very tight now, back in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Oh, I thought AJ was getting a wheel underneath him. Brad was able to get a good run there off the corner, holding off AJ for another lap. Hamill doing all he can now. Watching AJ Hamill go through this race, he takes his time getting around a car, but once he gets around a car in front of him, very few laps pass before he is caught up to the next car. So he is working this field patiently, but when he has open road in front of him, that car is flat getting it. Hamill's fastest lap of a 20.706 is right up there with our leaders, if not the fastest lap of this race that they are currently experiencing. 21.231 is his current lap. This one at a 21.305. So he's managed to save his equipment and has a very little drop off in compared to the rest of the field from his fastest lap. And as he gets around Brad Carpenter here, we'll see him work his way and catch up to the back of this pack. Brian Rogers is in 6th. 5 cars all right here. When Hamill catches up, make that 6 cars. So quite the interesting little group we got right here. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and 6th. All running nose to tail right now. And we're coming up on lap 37 of 100. Driver we haven't talked a lot about yet is the 4 machine of Wayne McDuff. Wayne McDuff started in 10th, currently 12th. Week in and week out, Wayne is here every week, running about as clean a laps as you could hope for. But most of the time, I see Wayne tucked into a spot all by himself. And Zach Coyer in the pits. Lap 38. Don't know if this is a planned pit stop or not, but Zach Coyer taken to the pits. He's going to go a lap down here. We'll keep our eyes on him as he sits in the pit stall still. See the field circling around. Zach Coyer taking tires, it looks like. So he's gone 2 laps down now. So very extensive pit stop for Zach Coyer. Looks like he's suffered some damage of some sort. We watch Hamill here. It says he started first, but he was quick time for tonight. But he did take an EOL penalty into the line and is slowly closing in on our front runners. 6th place of Brian Rogers. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Man, guys, I'll tell you, this is... Nobody's getting any kind of a gap on anyone. We're coming up on halfway now. Brad Carpenter made a pit stop. He's pulled back out onto the track. He got some damage fixed. Looks like he has taken tires as well. Though I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't hold me to that. Douglas Wysocki, one of my favorite paint jobs right here. This 45 car. I love the red, white, and blue there. The stars on the back. Very, very pretty paint job in my opinion. Douglas Wysocki currently running in 11th place. So Hamill just about 1 second behind Rogers now. Just inching in lap after lap. This group, I tell you what, these guys running nose to tail mentally will be exhausting, especially for someone in the middle like Brian Hacker is. And Andrew Hill trying to find a way on the outside, maybe setting up for a good run down underneath. Getting a little bit of a high corner entry. Leaving that door open for Brian Rogers. We go on board now with Andrew Hill, tonight's race promoter for the American Heart Association 100. Hill doing a great job so far, currently in 5th. As you can see, that Stafford's not a very big track, a little bit of flat corners here, not a whole lot of banking. So these guys have to work their way now through the lap traffic car of Douglas Wysocki. But meanwhile, up front, this race has been all Sean Cool. He has led every lap so far. Every lap has been green flag. All 52 of 100. So no cautions have been thrown yet. And Andrew Hill, something has happened to Hill. Don't know if he's disconnected or what, but he has just disappeared from the scoring chart. Trying to find him, and I believe that Andrew Hill is just gone. We'll have to get a little bit of clarification after the race if that's what happened to him. Oh, no. Now I have him. Oh, no. This is terrible. He's blinked out bad enough that he has lost a lap in scoring. So Andrew Hill has currently scored 1 lap down. His connection was dropped for a whole lap. Fortunately, he's able to recover, so I do not know how race control will handle that. Meanwhile, as you can see, the cars are starting to run a little bit higher now. 56 laps into this, and the bottom lane really warm. The tires are worn out. The drivers are starting to search around, trying to find a line, trying to find some grip. A cool spot on the track to run. And Ryan Nolan 2.3 seconds behind Sean Cool now. AJ Hamel working the outside of Andrew Hill. Once again, Hill scored as 1 lap down in 10th place. And a lot of that is all connection issues, so that's very unfortunate, as he should be currently in 7th spot, because that's where he's running on the track. But you know, AJ Hamel's going to now attack the 12 machine for that top 5. Taking him 60 laps, but he is almost into this top 5 position. Now we're really starting to see some separation here between all these drivers. Ryan Nolan, Justin McDuff, Brian Hacker, Brian Rogers, Andrew Hill. These guys, lap after lap, were all nose to tail. And here in the matter of just a few laps, tire fall off is starting to take effect. And we're seeing some gaps open up on these guys. But Justin McDuff has not left the rear bumper of Ryan Nolan. So we have another one look to be slow on the apron there. Now Wayne McDuff, lap car as Ryan Nolan and Justin McDuff work to the inside of him. Wayne staying way out of the way. Andreas Lambert in the 70 machine starting to lose touch with these guys that were in front of him. Currently running 8th. Started 11th, so he's worked his way up a little bit. Not quite where he would like to be, though. This guy constantly in the top 5, looking for something more here, just unable to deliver so far. Getting close to 35 laps to go. As the 12 machine, Brian Rogers working his way underneath Brian Hacker. Ooh, Hacker scraping the wall just a touch there. Hamill now all over the backside of Rogers. He's going to follow Rogers past Hacker. Hamill wants that top 5. Looks like he's got a nose in front. Can he carry the momentum? Doesn't look like he did. Both cars wiggled. Brian Hacker was able to get a better run off the corner. And now Hamill's going to clear him, and Al Smith is going to try and follow through as well. So Hacker's going to lose 2 spots here. Tucks in behind Smith. So score Smith in 6th. Hamill inside the top 5 after starting shotgun on the field. He is working his way through, but the laps are starting to wind down now. Meanwhile, up front, just to make sure that he is still out there, because we haven't got to talk a whole lot about him. Sean Cool, your leader for all 68 laps. Nice, steady laps. Doesn't seem to have a scratch on that car. Running way up high there in 1 and 2, looking for that cool track temperature. Maybe get a little bit more grip than what's available down on the bottom, and able to carry a little bit more speed. So Brian Rogers is currently in 4th, but a little bit of a gap, just about 2.5 seconds between Brian Rogers and Justin McDuff. So Brian Rogers really has got to find a little bit of extra speed here to close this gap between him and McDuff. Check in on Andrew Hill. Andrew now trying to make his way underneath the 11 machine of Brian Hacker. Hacker going way up high, conceding the position to Hill. Hopefully my scoring is just off and the 77 is still on the lead lap. If he is currently in 7th. Otherwise, I haven't scored his 9th, so hopefully I have it wrong. But Sean Cool, there is no doubt about this. He is way out front. Now he has got 2.3 second lead. Al Smith putting a heavy pressure on Hamill now. About to be a 3-way fight for 4th place here. So check in once again on Andrew Hill in that 77. He's gotten around Brian Hacker about half a corner behind Al Smith. Meanwhile, these two, Justin McDuff has got to be a little annoyed at looking at that back bumper. It's going to be burned into his memory tonight. He's going to go to sleep, close his eyes. Champlain Explorer gonna be just tattooed across his eyeballs because he has not left that back bumper. Unable to find a way around him, but not letting him get away either. Going on boarding with Justin McDuff. Justin running a little bit high there, but gets a good run coming down off the corner. High entry once again. Pulling it down low. Trying, like I said, these drivers are looking for a cool spot on the track to put their tires. Track very rubbered up right now. As you can see, Sean Cool just up there working his way around Douglas Wysocki once again. Lap 80 of 100, 20 to go now. This thing really could go flag to flag, green flag the whole time. Checking in on Brian Rogers in the 12 machine, sitting fourth place right now. These three cars. So Al Smith, third car in this little three-car group. AJ Hamill, the middle car. Brian Rogers in the 12 is this lead car that we're watching. Brian Rogers, who started fourth, currently running fourth, has lost a few spots during the start, has managed to make it back to where he did start. Has a bit of a gap up to Justin McDuff, about 3.13 seconds. Brian Rogers turning some very good laps here. Very steady laps. We watched Rogers at South Boston be one of the faster guys, but get into some trouble. Ooh, speaking of trouble, Al Smith just about lost it coming out of turn 4. Managed to gather it back up. Lost a little bit of ground. Andrew Hill is closing in on these guys. Hill with just a little bit of damage on that right front. Doesn't seem to be hurting him too much. But once again, we're checking in on Justin McDuff and Ryan Nolan. These two almost have been buddies this entire race. Ryan Nolan been towing that Justin McDuff 20 machine this entire time. Ryan Nolan better send him a tow bill. These two have been dang near inseparable for coming up on almost 90 laps. Brian Hacker in the 11 machine currently scored 7th. As we got one in the pits, that is the 70 machine of Andreas Lambert. Andreas looks to maybe be just having some damage that he's got fixed. Not sure how long he's going to be on pit road, but we're getting a little bit past tire replacement here. 10 laps to go now. 91 of 100. Once again, it has been all Sean Cool. Has led, oh my goodness, led 91 laps now. Got over a 3-second lead on Ryan Nolan. Started, or I should say qualified third, but got to start pole by benefit of Hamill with QuickTime having to go to the back of the pack. So Sean Cool taking us on board here. You can see just real nice and smooth. Doesn't get the car out of shape. Not too aggressive on the steering wheel. Very, very steady right now. Ooh, little bit of sideways as I was just talking about him. But very easy to do here at Stafford, as this track is just flat. You do everything you can to get the power down as gently as possible. Doesn't always go as planned. But this race is going as planned for him. 3.3 second lead. Doing a great job here. Leading 95 laps. We are coming up on the final laps of this race with no cautions. These three cars here still running close to each other. Al Smith trying that high side line. Andrew Hill, tonight's race promoter, the American Heart Association 100. Hopefully Hill will stick around. We'll get to talk to him and we'll find out where he got scored. Hopefully it is different than mine. That'd be terrible to have a scoring issue ruin a good race that he's got going on right now. So Sean Cool back up front, coming around to complete lap 97. And Andreas Lambert still in pit road, so definitely getting some damage fixed. Sitting out, I'm sure, for what will be the rest of this race. Sean Cool coming around now. Once again, 2 laps to go. Brian Rogers in 4th. Hamill with the charge up to 5th place, but starting to run out of time. If he can finish 5th, that would be a great finish on him. But Sean Cool on the final lap here. Down the backstretch for the last time. 3.3 second lead over Justin McDuff, who just got around Ryan Nolan. Oh no, Ryan got back. Sean Cool gonna win this one. Congratulations, Sean Cool led every lap. Ryan Nolan's gonna finish 2nd. Justin McDuff 3rd. 4th place, Brian Rogers. 5th, AJ Hamill. Wow, that's your top 5. Sean Cool, Ryan Nolan, Justin McDuff, Brian Rogers, AJ Hamill, your top 5. Hamill started on the rear. Great job working through the field. Al Smith 6th, Brian Hacker 7th, Andrew Hill, first car 1 lap down to I'm not sure, got 8th. 9th was Wayne McDuff. 10th, Douglas Wysocki. 11th, Andreas Lambert. 12th, Brad Carpenter. And 13th, Zach Coyer, who had some issues early. So, working on pulling up all of our front runners here. If you give me just a second, I will find them all. All right, we have our front runners. Our first place finisher, Sean Cool. Mr. Cool, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Man, tell us what it feels like to lead for 100 laps.
I don't know. It's the first time I've done that. It feels good though. It was a good race. Everybody did a nice job. It went flag to flag, which was really cool. The track went through a ton of changes throughout the course of the race. I started to search for a little bit more grip here and there and adjust my lines in 1 and 2, especially to kind of accommodate that. I think that helped me. It's really cool how this track kind of changes. And like I said, we had a really good field here tonight, so it was pretty cool to run it.
So you had nobody in front of you for 100 laps. How much were you worried about someone maybe saving their stuff coming up towards you at the end of the race versus how much were you saving your equipment?
Well, I wasn't necessarily too worried. Once I got a little bit of a gap to Nolan, I started to kind of put it in conserve and just try and maintain the gap. And then it started to increase. I actually happened to look down and then see that it increased even more while I was conserving. So then I went into extra conserve mode, and then I was still kind of pulling. So I just kind of ran a nice pace, and I thought it would be pretty good, and apparently it was.
Well, good job. All 100 laps belong to you. Great race win. So anybody you'd like to thank for this dominating performance this week?
Yeah, I want to thank Andrew Hill for putting up everything that's necessary to get the broadcast going. You guys up in the broadcast booth for putting it on. I want to thank Andy Lambert puts this series on, does a fantastic job. I haven't been able to make every race, but the races that I have been able to make have been very pleasurable. They've been a lot of fun. RFC and Racing for a Cause for everything they do all over all series. Last night we ran the Xfinity car, and it was a blast at Daytona. Uh, had a shot to win that one and made a bonehead move at the end and ruined a lot of people's nights. So it definitely needed a night like tonight. But um, yeah, and I'd like to thank the guys that I normally do a lot of practicing with: Justin McDuff, AJ Hamill, Al Smith Jr., Brian Rogers Jr., Wayne McDuff, all those guys. They help prepare for a lot of these, and we run a lot, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, once again, congratulations, and thank you for sticking around and talking with us.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, you heard it from Sean Cool, dominating performance, as he's going to go burn them down right now. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get Ryan Nolan in. Mr. Nolan, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Ryan Nolan, tell us a little bit about your race, running second for pretty much all of it, if I remember correctly, but at no point in time were you allowed to catch any breath, as you had Justin McDuff just all over your backside.
Yeah, it was a good race, a lot of fun. Everyone ran really clean, so we had that nice green flag run. Yeah, Justin put a lot of pressure on us, so it was tough to really. I was trying to keep a lower line because of that, and for those reasons, I couldn't really catch Sean. He ran a great race as well. But yeah, I gotta thank the competitors, especially Justin, for running me clean, and I gotta apologize to him. I had a bit of a rough connection towards the end, I believe, and I think that it's never easy racing around someone with a connection like that. So I apologize, and yeah, it was a good race for us.
Well, it looked like a lot of fun out there. As, like I said, you had no time to really catch your breath, but nothing seems to phase you. You always seem to make your way up front and just have good, solid races. Is there any secrets you wish to tell me so I know how to do it? Because I always end up in the broadcast booth or on the hauler.
Well, I don't know. I think just trying to stay out of trouble seems to be the easiest way, but sometimes you can't help that.
Okay, can you say that in simple terms? I only know like 3 letters of the alphabet.
Just let it rotate, let it roll it through the corner. I can't give away all my secrets, but that I can give you.
So, all right, well, congratulations on second place. Anybody you'd like to thank for helping you get here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Race for a Cause and Andy Lambert for running this series. It's a lot of fun, great group of guys. Gotta thank the competitors, congratulate Sean, and gotta thank Andrew Hill for putting this broadcast on, and of course you for broadcasting. You do a great job. I have to thank, I didn't thank my wife last week, but I gotta thank her this week for letting me race, or tolerating me race, and of course my parents. They always watch these races and support me.
Well, I'm sure they all appreciate the thank you. I know I do, so once again, congratulations on second place.
Thank you very much.
All right, that means we're moving on now to third place, Justin McDuff. Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Hey, Justin, quick question. When you close your eyes and blink, is the back bumper of Ryan Nolan's car the only thing you see right now?
Yeah, it's funny, actually. After the checkered flag there, I said to Ryan, I'm going to have nightmares about the Champlain Explorer tonight. So, yeah, it's burned in my memory, the blue and white. So I'll be seeing that for a long time.
Now, I got to hand it to you. You did a great job never, really giving him the bump and run, trying everything to get around him. At some point, I think I would have either lost my mind, crashed, or dumped him. So congratulations to you on keeping your sanity.
Yeah, well, I know he's got a lot to race for here with the championship winding down, and I try to race everyone the way I would like to be raced. So I wasn't going to give him the bumper there. I tried to kind of do a crossover. I mean, he got me pretty good there on the start. I thought I had him clear, and then he crossed me up and got back by me. And I was just kind of trying to pressure him into a mistake there, but it never really happened. He hit his marks perfectly when I was behind him. I threw everything I had at him, pretty much.
Well, sometimes that's racing for you, but still a great race. Third place, nothing to frown about, in my opinion.
No, sir. Stafford's probably one of my worst tracks statistically, so to come out of here with a podium finish is something to hang my hat on, and we'll head off to Myrtle Beach.
All right. Well, third place. Anyone you'd like to thank for that?
First off, I'd like to thank Andrew Hill for footing the bill for tonight's broadcast, and thank you, KR, for all you do, and Andy Lambert. He does a really good job of this series and makes it a lot of fun for us drivers, and I know there's some good things coming on the pipeline for the spring series and things like that, so I'm excited for that. And of course, my sponsors on the car, Locks of Love. It's a really cool organization that provides hair pieces to financially disadvantaged kids that are suffering from cancer and other conditions like that. So yeah.
Well, all right. Once again, congratulations on third place finish.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You too. All right, and that leaves just Mr. Andrew Hill, tonight's race promoter, who we're going to spend a few moments talking to. So, Mr. Hill, are you there?
Yeah, I got your car.
All right, first let's talk about your race a little bit. I have you scored as 8th, 1 lap down. Is that where you ended up, or is there a scoring error on my part?
No, you got it right. I was running 5th, and then I lost connection, and I lost a lap somehow. So, it just kind of happened. So I lost that lap with a bad connection.
Well, that is unfortunate. Definitely had a good run going. Very solid race for you. But more importantly, let's do a little talking about what you have on the side of your car and also what tonight's race was about.
Oh, yeah, I carry the American Heart Association on my car, and that's what tonight's sponsor was. And it's a cause that's pretty near and dear to my own heart. So it's helped out me and my family. So I care about it, and I'm happy to support it.
Now, without going into too much detail, what does American Heart Association do, and how have they helped you?
Well, I mean, they're putting the money where the problems that a lot of people face in the world, and stuff that's affected my family, and stuff that's actually affected us. So it is near and dear. So it's just a good cause I like to support. I have supported it, and I hope other people support it.
All right, well, that's the American Heart Association. If people wanted to know more about them, where could they find that information?
Really the best place is their website. You can donate right on there. They have a lot of different drives and things like that, but I do usually donate right on their website.
Well, there you go. Now, I do have to ask, tonight's race is presented by Clam Chowder Racing. How does one team get that kind of name?
Ryan Nolan and I are a team, and we had another broadcaster. I can't remember his name right now. And he saw that we were both from New England. We always were around each other, racing with each other, and he started calling us Clam Chowder because we're from New England. He was a Southern guy, so I think it's funny. Me and Ryan like it, so I just kind of threw it on there. We stuck with it.
Well, I like it too. I'm from the Midwest, so I totally get the reference of clam chowder because that's apparently what you guys all eat up there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you very much for sticking around and telling us a little bit about American Heart Association. And tough luck on your race. I really thought you had a great car tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us and Mr. Hill. This was the American Heart Association 100. Once again, won by Sean Cool in dominating fashion. So, guys, I'll tell you what. Next week, same time, same place, same kind of terrible broadcaster who hopefully will not leave the points up like I did at the start of this race. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. So anyways, guys, until next week, thank you very much for joining me. If you don't have anything to do, I'm going to do another broadcast here in about a half hour right here on J-Skins Media Solutions. If you would like, I would love for you guys to stick around and talk with me in the YouTube chat. But until I see you again, make sure y'all have a good time, and I will catch you all later.